Yeah,
I have never seen an organization more committed to self-imploding than the WNBA. A few weeks ago, I made this video highlighting how it appears Brittney Griner said bleep white girl after fouling out in a game against Indiana Fever, the team that Caitlin Clark plays for. Some people like Jamel Hill, former ESPN host, says that no, she didn't say bleep white girl. She says bleep whack call, to which she then went on to call me a grifter for even pointing this out, but besides the point. It breaks my heart. I am so proud of the girls. There are a handful of girls now who are suing their state's attorney general and the high school sports governing body that has allowed this to happen because of their discriminatory policies that exclude women from the women's category. Cannot believe this is happening.
Riley Gaines just dropped a nuclear bomb on Brittney Griner and the entire WNBA establishment. After Griner's controversial comments about Caitlin Clark got swept under the rug, the former Olympic swimmer stepped up and said what everyone was thinking. She didn't hold back, and now the league is scrambling to control the damage. Do you think Riley Gaines was right to call out both Brittney?
You can watch and make up your own mind as to what it appears
Brittney Griner, who was imprisoned in Russia, in a man's prison, which I had no idea about.
Brittney Griner is under fire for extremely aggressive behavior portrayed toward Caitlin Clark, the rookie from last year, the one that has everybody's focus in the WNBA. And this incident has, of course, gone viral online, but also sparked up some other skeletons in Brittney's closet that she...
Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. You know, I don't usually dive into drama unless it's got some serious heat, but today we've got a major clash going down in the WNBA world. We're talking Brittney Griner versus Riley Gaines, and y'all, it's getting messy. Apparently, Riley's coming for Griner hard, questioning why she's still playing in the WNBA when she's not speaking up on the Caitlin Clark situation. Yeah? Let's talk about that. Is this a real concern, or just performative outrage? Let's break it down, chill style. So first off, let's talk about Brittney Griner. Y'all already know she's a beast on the court. Like, we're talking NCAA champion, 2x Olympic gold, medalist, 9-time WNBA All-Star. Off the court, she's done her fair share of activism. She's spoken out on LGBTQ+ rights, she's been part of the WNBA players' protests, and remember, she's just recently come back after being detained in Russia for nearly 10 months. That alone should be enough to make anyone go, yo, maybe let her breathe. But apparently, not everyone thinks she's doing enough. Now let's shift gears and talk Riley Gaines. She's a former collegiate swimmer, big name in NCAA swimming, didn't go pro but made her presence known in a totally different way. She's become a very loud voice in the whole athletes must speak up movement. She's been in media spots, giving interviews, doing podcasts, calling out athletes she thinks are staying silent on key issues, and now Brittney's in her crosshairs. Riley is like, how can you take up a roster spot in the WNBA and not use your voice when stuff like this Caitlin Clark situation goes down? Which brings us to the core issue. So what happened? Riley came out swinging after that wild game where Caitlin Clark got knocked to the floor. The internet exploded. Everyone had an opinion. And Riley, she said Brittney Griner's. Silence was unacceptable. She said if you're going to play in the WNBA and benefit from the spotlight, you have a responsibility to speak out when a rookie like Caitlin Clark is getting targeted. Now, to be fair, Griner has spoken about equality, athlete mental health, and more. But she didn't speak directly on that Clark incident, and that's where the criticism is heating up. It's like, do athletes have to say something about everything? Yo, the timeline went nuts. Some fans were like, leave Griner alone. She just got back, she's playing her game, she's not obligated to speak on every headline. Others were like, nah, she's a vet, she should have backed Clark. One post said, Brittney's job is to ball, not babysit the media. Another said, silence is complicity when younger players are being bullied. It's wild how divided people are. Like, when did we start expecting athletes to be full-time spokespeople?
Fox News, I ain't never seen this lady a day in my life. Why'd y'all hire this woman?
The USA basketball chair actually said it would be irresponsible to put Caitlin Clark on the U.S. women's Olympic basketball team, all while putting Brittney Griner on the team. I think with the extreme controversy that she brings.
Let me jump in, Riley, because you say it a lot there. I'm not sure what you mean by the controversy that Brittney Griner brings to the game. I mean, that's kind of not fair to say without explanation.
Well, I mean, I think given everything that happened overseas, given that she was put in jail, I mean, the controversy is certainly there, whether we want it there or not. Despite
not
the
her
fact
fault
that she's
and
an
wrongly
amazing player.
accused. Let's be fair. That's Riley. I like you a lot too. That's not right. She was wrongfully accused. That is not fair to bring that up. So we're gonna delete that. Okay, let's you and I continue.
She literally tried to tell Riley Gaines that Brittney Griner was unlawfully detained. What are you saying? Fox, get this lady off y'all show.
It is from her Instagram stories from years and years ago. It says on here 109 weeks ago, and I believe this was screenshotted and posted a year ago. So quite a while. Let's go ahead and watch this, and we'll
Investigation.
But apparently, Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man. And one of the videos that give us cause to say that is this video.
Thursday night, Indiana Fever and Atlanta Dream played. Indiana Fever is where Caitlin Clark plays. Atlanta Dream is where Brittney Griner plays. Now you tell me what it looks like Brittney Griner is saying here. For a little bit of context, this was in the fourth quarter after Brittney Griner fouled out against Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever would go on to win by 5. Now I'm gonna tell you what I think she said. Let's play it back. Looks to me like she is saying trash and then calling Caitlin Clark a bleep white girl. Just a reminder, this is who Joe Biden traded for the Russian merchant of death. So many WNBA players hate Caitlin Clark so much when she is the best thing that could have happened to the league. And she's not the best thing that happened to the league because she's white, it's because she's a good player. It's because she's the best player. Now, imagine if Caitlin Clark said the inverse of this. It would be reprehensible, condemned, and understandably so. You've got all of these individual players, you have sports commentators, people like Ryan Clark, who constantly tout of the racial tensions that exist in the league, when in reality, they are the ones perpetuating and amplifying these racial tensions with their anti-white hatred for Caitlin Clark.
We'll talk about what we think after.
Flag you, Brittney. Let me see something real quick. Brick, thank you. Get the hell out of here, yo. Jab stepping, it's the brick.
Let's not forget, Griner's not just coasting. Stat-wise, she's still top tier. She's averaging double digits in points, locking down defense, doing her job night in and night out. If we're talking about basketball, she's elite. Does that not count for something? Like, what's the scoreboard on performance versus public statements? Candace Parker, Aja Wilson, some of them are more outspoken. That's cool. But not every player needs to have a podium moment every week. Maybe Brittney's way is showing up and showing out. Now back to Riley. She's not backing down. She's doubling down in interviews. She's all over conservative talk shows, rallying support, saying more athletes should man up or woman up and take a stand. It's earned her fans and haters. People are asking, is this genuine advocacy or just a way to boost her brand? And honestly, it's probably a little of both. She's passionate, sure, but she's also building a media presence out of it. Let's not pretend otherwise, but maybe the real convo here isn't just about Riley versus Brittney, it's about the bigger picture. Like, are we holding athletes to unfair standards? If they speak up, they get slammed. If they stay silent, they get slammed. It's a lose-lose sometimes. Mental health, emotional fatigue, and just plain boundaries get overlooked in all the noise. Do we want our athletes to perform or to preach? And what if they just want to play the game? All right, let's bring in the people. Here's what some real fans had to say. Brittney's already been through hell. Let her just enjoy the game. Again, now if you're gonna benefit from the league, you should protect new players. Riley's stirring the pot, but maybe the pot needed stirring. Why can't people just let athletes be athletes? Honestly, no wrong takes here. Just different angles. It's complicated. All right, so let's throw it back to y'all. Is Riley Gaines out of line, or is she holding Griner accountable? In a way fans need, Is Brittney Griner fair to stay quiet on issues she doesn't want to speak on? And do athletes owe us activism, or do they just owe us the game? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading and we might shout some of you out in the next vid. Thanks for rocking with me today, y'all. This one's been a deep dive, way more than just basketball. If you vibe with thoughtful takes, chill discussions, and keeping it real, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Tap the bell so you never miss a drop, and follow me on Insert Social here for behind the scenes and bonus takes. Peace out, stay kind, and see you next time on the channel.
A lot of people are talking about the Olympics, but not for the right reasons. So let me shed some light into a story that not too many people are talking about. I'm sure a majority of you know who Riley Gaines is and who is Brittney Griner. So Riley Gaines laid into Brittney Griner for kneeling during the national anthem. You don't have to sing or anything, but you need to show some respect for the country that saved you from a Russian gulag. True. If y'all forgot, Brittney Griner was a 32-year-old that was arrested in Moscow on February 17, accused of entering Russia with a vape cartridge containing cannabis oil, which is illegal in Russia. She was sentenced to 9 years in Russian labor. Obviously, this was a whole political thing. This was immediately after Russia invaded Ukraine. However, America fought for her and got her back in a one-on-one exchange with another prisoner, but that prisoner is one of the biggest arms dealers ever, Victor Bout. So you bring something illegal to a country, that country arrests you, and then America does everything to try and get you back here just for you to kneel during the national anthem? That's
Answer what Griner says. There is one way to find out. Ask Brittney Griner. However, no one has done that except for Outkick. It's been over 2 weeks since Griner said this. Instead, the WNBA was investigating a bogus race hoax made up by Angel Reese about Indiana Fever fans. And I say bogus because they found no evidence that supports Angel Reese's claims. So we at Outkick applied for media credentials to cover Brittney Griner's team, the Atlanta Dreams, game on June 6th, to which, shocker, they denied us. We've never had trouble getting media credentials with any professional sports league in the past, but wouldn't you know, now they suddenly have very limited space, which is total baloney. They just want to suppress any sort of uncomfortable inquiries from media. Regardless, we at Outkick are going to keep asking the tough questions, the questions that people want the answer to. And if you do call yourself a reporter or a journalist from an outlet like ESPN or any other sports outlet for that matter, and you have access to these settings and you're not asking those questions, you're really no reporter or journalist at all, at least not one with
fans that turn out to be completely false. They'll issue statements, launch inquiries, and make a big show of taking unsubstantiated allegations seriously. But when there's actual video evidence of one of their players potentially making inflammatory comments about their biggest star, suddenly they're too busy to investigate. Speaking to Fox News, Gaines absolutely destroyed the WNBA's credibility with one devastating quote: "I've never seen an organization more committed to self-imploding than the WNBA." She then broke down exactly why the league's behavior is so hypocritical and damaging.